So just try to, I guess, just keep
Yeah,
up.
we're rolling.
I guess.
We're rolling. Go.
All right. Hey guys, it's Brad
And Nate.
And Reese.
from the album Concept Hours spin-off podcast Side B.
There was a scheduling mix-up for Side A.
So instead of your regular programming,
We're going to let you hear an episode of Side B's spin-off show, The Island.
On the island, we break down listener-generated playlists of a variety of genres.
but all the songs
But-
have one
oh,
thing in
sorry.
common. They're about a place.
Normally, these are only available live, 7:30 every other Tuesday. Oh, that's Central, by the way, at Flyover State TV's YouTube channel.
Nate?
Or available unedited anytime after the stream.
But what you're about to hear is an edited, copyright-friendly version.
Of our 2000s indie playlist made specifically for friend and YouTuber Haptic GG.
Nate? Nate, that's you.
After finishing up with Resident Evil
Yeah, that's
games, he's about to start making videos about Silent Hill.
So if you're a fan of horror games, check out his channel. Link is in the description.
But enjoy this episode of The
And
Island.
remember to tune in.
And remember to
tune in
Tuesdays, 7:30
at 7:30
on the Flyover
Central
State.
on the
on
Flyover
the
State
Flyover
TV
State TV YouTube
channel.
channel.
All right.
Do we want to time that?
That's a wrap.
Welcome everybody to The Island. We are here at week 6 of The Island. We've been stuck here once a night, once a week. Every other week we get thrown into this island and we have to listen to these songs. But I'm your host Brad LeBaron, and I am here with my co-host Nate. How's it going, Nate? I gotta think of a better intro for like people that are coming, like my co-hosts. You know what I mean? And it's always just like, how's it going, man? It's like, well, we've been talking for like 15 minutes before this. But yeah, we're here on our Flyover State TV channel to talk about this new playlist. But before we get to that, you'll notice that Reese is missing today. Reese is he's not in that third stream like he normally is. Reese is on a camping trip. We hope that he is prepared properly for his month-long camping trip and you know, doesn't fuck up out there. But for our guest co-host, we have someone that is a YouTuber, a TikToker, used to do some Twitch stuff, still plays a lot of games, and is a great friend of mine. This is Dustin Boer, aka Haptic GG, right? With the GG as well.
That is correct. What's good, guys?
Yeah. What's going I'm really excited to have you on the podcast.
Excited to be here.
Yeah. I've been trying to get you on for a little while, but you're you would you say you're not necessarily like a music guy? Like I know we enjoy like a lot of the same music, but like you don't really have a specific genre that you kind of call your home, right?
Yeah, I listen to music maybe twice a month, if that.
Yeah. Is it more like podcasts and like YouTube videos and
Yep.
Audiobook type stuff?
Yep,
Yeah,
10 hours of that almost every day.
Yep. That's the way it was when I was working in the warehouse. Yeah, I crafted a playlist tonight of a little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of 2000s indie stuff, which is kind of a vague term. But Nate, also you're someone that in this episode is going to be a little unfamiliar with some of this. Is that right?
That is right. I mean, I know some indie stuff, but I think that when I was growing up, I probably would have like turned away from some of this stuff because I knew that certain people in school that I didn't like were listening to it, and I thought they were lame. But like then there was people I met at parties, and like everybody that I knew that also there were people I knew that also liked this stuff. So like I respected it
like,
at the same time.
I
was like,
respect
okay,
you, and you like this music. I don't understand.
It's like when you're stubborn and you don't like broccoli or kale or whatever, and you just don't ever eat it, and because you're like, I never want to try it, but maybe you just haven't tasted it with garlic butter.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that we're honored to be able to show you the true potential of music.
Yes. This is stuff that like really it's
I mean,
very,
I've grown up since then.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you were like a real like metalhead to start with, like that was kind of your bag for a while. But yeah, as you grow older, you expand, you're like this is where me and Dustin started, kind of like as far as like when we were forming our musical opinions and everything. A lot of these are like us, I don't know, what would you say, like 14 to 20?
Yeah, around there.
Something like that.
I rocked an emo swish for a long time.
Yeah. I remember when you came back into town after you moved away for a few years, but you came back into town and we had a gym class together, and I was like,
yep,
Dustin?
we were gym class heroes.
Yep. That was a fun gym class. Maybe the best gym class I ever had, and it was like the last one. But yeah. So we go way back with this stuff on this playlist. Some of it you haven't heard, Dustin, and I think you might enjoy, but we'll find out. And then some of them I know that you enjoy. Oh, we are also sticking to the location-based thing. I know we're doing a Dustin themed playlist, but they are all also location-based songs. So
what does that mean?
That means that the title of the song includes a place.
Got it.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
There are a few rules that we adhere to on side B / the island, and we've seen to stick to locations. So yeah. For the time being, we're just going from place to place. So yeah, so that's that, and it helps me like pick the songs too, because otherwise you just pick, we just pick the single from every album, or like the best song on every album, so this kind of forces us to maybe pick a lesser heard track,
right?
So
well, it weirdly works too, because I mean, clearly you were able to put together a playlist that at first seemed daunting.
Yeah.
And
like I was really I was really like, we got together the other night and I was like just kind of sitting there thinking. I was like, you know what, Nate, you could probably like be we could probably stop the Zoom and I could just think about this for a while. But what Dustin?
I was gonna say, yeah, because you asked me if there were any tracks that I wanted added, and I'm like, nope, I want to see what you think.
Yeah. You
Show me what
really
you think I like.
Yeah. Which can be either incredibly insulting or incredibly positive. So we'll see which of that. We'll see how well I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were definitely a few that I really wanted to get on the list, but then like they didn't have any song that was remotely, could even be argued to be a place. So I was like, all right.
As long as you got The Devil Went Down to Georgia, we're good.
Did we talk about that on our Georgia episode? I don't think we included that. But
we didn't.
No, I think we completely omitted Devil Went Down to Georgia.
I thought I was working with professionals here.
Yeah. Oh, wow, Dustin. I'm a little surprised that I had not I missed that. But today we're going to be starting with a band called a little known band called The Killers. I should mention before we get into the list, kind of my like a short description of what I mean by like indie rock for this playlist. So generally in this time period, indie was kind of a catch-all term, I think. Because this was when a lot of people were, connecting through like MySpace and, getting their small tour circuits going. There was a lot of bands that like sounded very different, but were independent, as in like from indie labels or just don't have like the support that you wouldn't hear them on the radio, you wouldn't hear them of them on like major festivals or something, but you'd find a way to listen to these things. But so there's going to be quite a variety of sound. The Killers isn't really very like indie, but they have a kind of indie sound. So some of these I'm including just because of the sound. It kind of reminds me of the 2000s indie scene. So a little explanation of what we mean by that. It's a very vague term. So there's gonna be a little variety tonight, but I hope they share something in common. But yeah, you want to get into the first track then? Sam's Town.
Yeah.
All right. This is Sam's Town.
I carried the flag of The Walking Dead being terrible for 4 seasons because my wife discovered it first.
Oh, yeah. Did you like the first 4 seasons?
Yeah, they're good. You gotta build that playlist on the fly, Nate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably be able to do it as, fast as I can.
All right. So that's the first
sure
track of that album. So that's why I included it as the first one of this playlist. I think it's a good intro. But...
So you might hear me clickety clacking while it's going. That's me planning out the 12 tracks.
Good. Well, you have one of those keyboards that sounds like a classic.
That sounds like a fucking jet engine.
Yeah.
So,
which
I swear? Do you do swearing on here?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, you can swear as much as you want. It's 18 plus. I mean, this is not a children's show.
This is YouTube After Dark, bitch.
I swear like a fucking monster.
This is
I really hate. Okay, can I get on a little soapbox for a second? I really hate that YouTube has become like a swearless, censored place.
Yeah,
not cool with it. That's what YouTube was for. Was to be able to say what you want. Anyway. The Killers. What do you think of the Killers?
They're fine.
They're fine.
I don't know. They always were in this weird liminal space for me that I was just never a big fan of.
Yeah.
Like they're not hard enough, I don't feel, for me to rock out to, and they're not.
That's
I don't know. They're not
really a rock out band.
They're in the middle.
Yeah.
Of the two extremes that I like.
Yeah. That's what I think is like kind of emblematic of indie like music, is like kind of, it has a lot of elements of rock, but they're trying to do it in a softer way or in a different way, or I don't know, in a way that's more modern, at least when it came out. It's not usually that like crunchy heavier stuff. Yeah.
Because I either want a song that makes me want to drive my car off a bridge, or I want a song that makes me want to go punch a wall as hard as I can 34 times.
Okay, so you like music that evokes a feeling, like a visceral kind of
a visceral reaction.
Okay. I understand that.
Also, with my 12 tracks, I'm not gonna spend the time to do the location based thing. So I'm just letting you know that now.
Okay. Oh, so wait. This is a new 12 tracks.
Yeah, it's a different 12 tracks.
It's a different 12 tracks. Okay.
I'm going to tell you, if I was putting it together and didn't have to do the location thing, which 12 I would have picked.
Okay. Maybe we'll have to visit that down the road or something. But yeah. So I put this one next to Panic at the Disco, which is the next track, because they're both from Vegas. They're both from Brandon Flowers grew up around the Vegas area. I think that the guy from Panic at the Disco was always there too. But
I will tell you,
yeah,
Panic at the Disco is neck and neck for my favorite band.
Okay, so do you listen to like the newer stuff? Do you follow like the stuff that comes? Okay,
yep.
Cool. Like I haven't
Love
heard
me
too
some
much
Panic.
of their new stuff.
Yeah, it's good. It's
Okay.
different. It's definitely different.
Is it like is it a little dancier? Like is
Yes.
it more like electronic kind of? Okay, yeah. I was gonna say it seemed like both them and Fall Out Boy got more into more electronics elements in their music from what I could tell from just hearing them in like restaurants and stuff.
New Fall Out Boy can fall off a cliff. I'm just saying that.
Pete Wentz is definitely one of my like music nemesis.
Yes.
But not that I have music nemesis, but if I was on like a level to like have one, he'd be the first.
Dr. Melody, I should have known you were buying this.
Dr. Melody. That tickled me. But yeah, Sam's Town is a real place. If you want to hear me talk about this at length, there is a whole episode we did on Side A about Sam's Town. So we won't spend a whole lot of time on the lyrics here, but it's a lot of setup for the rest of the album. It's definitely one of those. It's a concept album, so I just recommend listening to it start to finish. But yeah, this next track is from the aforementioned Panic at the Disco, and it's from their first major album because I'm most familiar with that album and Pretty Odd.
Yeah.
And I didn't know actually that you were still listening to the newer stuff. So I'll have to check some of that out too. But this is from one of the first albums. So this has the real, like, when you hear that one Panic at the Disco song on the radio that they play a lot, this is the style that is in. So what's the full track title? London Beckoned Songs About Money, written by... They're all really long.
I don't even bother to learn their song titles. I really don't.
Yeah. I mean, it's not quite Sufjan Stevens long, but like it's definitely long for a YouTube playlist. So yeah, here we go.
I'm trying to find the name of the title. London Beckoned Songs About Money, written.
This whole album is super sexual.
Oh yeah. This album is sexy album.
My sex playlist is just this on repeat.
My sister got pregnant listening to this album.
Also, Pretty Odd is my least favorite Panic at the Disco album.
Yeah,
by a wide margin, including their new stuff.
Can we talk about that for a second? I really feel bad for Panic at the Disco for what happened with Pretty Odd. It was too much. It was too big of a leap from their first album, and it was a big creative jump. You know what I mean? And I really liked Pretty Odd, right? I enjoyed Pretty Odd quite a bit. I liked that they took that really big risk to like basically become like, I don't know, Beatles-esque sounding like rip-off stuff, but you know, they're young enough where it's like I could excuse it, you know. Right. I'm like, you guys, you know, you got a career ahead of you, whatever. But what it did is it like really hurt their career for a while. Like that really they had to really gain their status again after that. Yeah. But
it's every time a song from that album comes on, I skip it. Every single time. I haven't listened to anything from Pretty Odd in a long time.
Well, it's almost the polar opposite of this sound and this feeling. Yeah, you know, it's a bunch of like sweet, like, you know, love, maybe folksy poppy stuff, whereas this is like, you know, about the kind of you know, sexual nature of the internet, especially, you know, at that time, you know, in the 2000s when, you know, we're just getting your cable internet and shit. So, you know, it's a weird time to be a teenager is all I'm going to say, you know? Yeah. It's a completely different night and day thing. And I think maybe if it was like the third album or fourth album, it would have been a problem. But second album, it was just too much for people. Yeah.
I didn't mind this as much as I thought I would. It kind of felt like if you tried to take like proggy kind of music and turn it into something more poppy, because it's definitely got some interesting It's got an interesting rhythm to it, and like I probably would have written it off completely as a kid, but like, I don't really care about that stuff anymore. So like, yeah,
it was really it's always really strong.
I had a choice between getting.
It's like if Rush did pop music.
Yeah, I had a choice between getting this Panic album or getting My Chemical Romance, 3 Cheers for Sweet Revenge. And that was like a nexus for my life. Like that was the branching off.
Yes. That was where the fork in the road occurred.
I picked Panic.
You picked Panic over MCR. There was a decision between the two for you.
Yep. It was I had to pick one, and it was Panic.
Yeah.
Thanks to I Write Sins, Not Tragedies. I saw that music video and I was like, oof.
It's a good track. It's a good track,
That versus I'm Not Okay.
Yeah. I think that I definitely went more the MCR route. But yeah, I don't know, man. That's hard because those are both killer albums for the time.
Yeah.
If you're into those kinds of things, like that was like everything. But let's get into something a little newer though. This is like not even technically 2000s proper. I think the first Cage the Elephant is in the 2010s.
Now,
but it's definitely in a similar vein as that stuff. And
I've only ever listened to the Cage the Elephant song from Borderlands.
Ain't No Rest for the Wicked.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yep. That's the one. Rocketed them into stardom. But this is Aberdeen by Cage the Elephant.
We got Radiate X with us tonight. What if somebody this is a really dumb idea, but continuous stream on YouTube. Sorry, Brad, to interrupt, but like a continuous stream where like every band in the world plays. Like,
I just finished my list of 12, and I didn't build it specifically for this, but I don't think you would ever in a million years pick half of them.
Probably not. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did you just send it to the chat?
No, I'm hanging on to it.
You're hanging on to it to the end. Yeah.
No,
okay.
you guys don't get to see it.
You just got it done now. Okay.
Yep, I just finished.
Yeah. But yeah, that was Aberdeen. I just want to read this quote about it on Genius from Janine Lindmulder. She's got a picture and everything. This song was originally named Maybelline, but was later changed to Aberdeen because Cage the Elephant's lead singer Matt Schultz couldn't stop singing the city's name while rehearsing in Aberdeen, Scotland. So, yeah, so it's supposed to be Maybelline. Cut the cord, she's a creep, Maybelline.
So they just threw their hands up and they're like, fine, fuck it.
Well, yeah, I think they do that a lot in this album. This is from Thank You, Happy Birthday, and it's by far my favorite Cage the Elephant album. They kind of do that kind of loose writing thing where they got me foaming at the knees. That's not a phrase. Like he just, but it rhymes with the other words, so he's like taking just creative liberties with, just switching out words.
It's like the alternative rock version of mumble rap.
Well, I mean, that's what the Beatles used to do, actually. Like, that's literally, like, if you hear, like, Paul McCartney talk about some of the lyrics, he's just like, oh, yeah, I saw this thing one day and thought I'd throw it into a lyric.
Or Eleanor Rigby.
Like, okay, Sgt. Pepper was him mishearing someone say salt and pepper. Yeah. So, if you want to be a legendary songwriter, mishear things and write it down.
Just jam an ice pick in your ear canal.
Only people who have done acid think it's okay to do that. To just be like, oh, I thought you said salt and pepper, so I code my. I thought you said Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah. Well,
you don't like it, then shoot me.
Well, there's this woman that claimed that he wrote the song. What is it? Rita Meter Maid. So there is a meter maid named Rita that has given Paul McCartney a ticket, and she claimed that the song was about her. But Paul says it's not. But what I say is Paul McCartney was tripping his balls off, and he doesn't remember the encounter. That's my thing. I think everyone that has claimed that like the Beatles wrote a song about them is actually telling the truth. The Beatles just don't remember. Anyway, but yeah, it's Aberdeen. It's a great album though. Thank you, Happy Birthday from Cage the Elephant. I can't recommend it enough to you guys. But yeah, I guess we'll move on to another track. This is I should probably give a preface to the next two here. We're gonna get into some Christian rock, guys. This is the first time on the island of Side B we're getting into this, but it's like
Reese is glad he's not here.
I know, man. Reese would have things to say. I'll have things to say. But yeah, the next two tracks are from the band So Long Forgotten and Me Without You. But they're not kind of what you think when you think of Christian rock. They're like, what sounds like worship tunes, but with like new production or something. These were like part of the kind of I guess alternative kind of Christian music scene, you
can't even really tell it's Christian music half the time.
Yeah, this one, So Long Forgotten,
it has a high Sufjanity.
Yeah, that's actually a good comparison because Sufjan is a Christian that makes music like folk rock, but he's not a Christian rock artist. He didn't like tool around the Christian festivals.
But he could convince you that he was. Yeah.
He has
if he wanted to.
Yeah, he doesn't always put it in the music, But yeah, so these next two tracks are going to have some heavy like biblical or Christian references, or with Me Without You, it could be anything Abrahamic, actually, not even just Christians. Which is why I like Me Without You. They kind of call out Christianity for the separation and like, yeah, we'll get to Me Without You though in a second. This is a band that was probably inspired a lot by Me Without You. Well, definitely inspired a lot by Me Without You if you listen to this sound. Yeah, this is So Long Forgotten. They're a band from the Chicago area, and we discovered them at Cornerstone Music Festival when they were playing in front of a camper with, I don't believe they had a microphone during that show. But
rest in peace, Cornerstone.
Rest in peace, Cornerstone, and rest in peace, So Long Forgotten. If you're not, I forget. I think you stopped for a while, but this is So Long Forgotten. A river flows in the desert.
Someday we should just like take all of the bands that have had Christian themes.
If you think of a lot of stuff you hear on maybe JJO or like heavy rock stations, they also have a lot of heavy Christian symbolism.
I haven't seen them in a long time, but for context, while we were rambling during the song, the Wilsons are a family of people that we all interacted with at different times, and then we actually met through them, I think, technically. So I think Dustin Christian is mostly
I think Dustin's mostly hung out with them like kind of after me and you like hung out with them regularly. You know what I mean? Because he was still in the area.
I 100% met him through you.
He
took me over to some party where they were watching UFC.
They used to pay for the UFC fights. Oh man, those are good times. But they also had a giant fucking house, so like it was the fucking hangout, right. That's where I met Nate actually. Out on the porch. So this is definitely
cigars
drinking some Mickeys. But this is a band that Sam Wilson and them actually really loved. Like I know when they were playing at Cornerstone, we saw them 1 year, like I described earlier, in front of a van thing, motor, a generator stage, and then the next year they were in a giant fucking stage. So like they really grew right in front of our eyes. And they're really cool dudes too. Like really nice guys, really introspective kind of dudes, you know, not real preachy about their faith.
Yeah.
But
I was telling Nate while you stepped away that one of the songs that I put on my list is the song that's responsible for me being Christian in the first place. You might remember the event, but I doubt you remember the band.
Actually, you'd be surprised. Campbell the band?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yep. I looked for a location-based song, but I couldn't find much in the way of Campbell the band at all. So
yeah, because they released one EP and then dissolved.
Yep.
And then the lead singer was in some other band for a little bit, and then I think that went away too.
Yeah, that's the way of the band. For instance, this the Skies Revolt. This is something I got at Cornerstone one year. They had a concept album about I don't know, robots taking over or something. I forget. But
for anybody who might be watching or listening in the future, could you briefly describe Cornerstone? Because I know what it is, and I never have gone because I'm not a Christian.
Yeah,
but
you never went.
Yeah,
I
never actually went because I wasn't into the music.
Yeah.
No, I never went.
You know what, Nate? You would have fucking loved Cornerstone.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you why. Because it might have been a Christian festival, but 99% of those bands were fucking metal. Like it was just metal all day, every day of various flavors. And they were all, you know, varieties of this kind of, you know, counterculture of Christian music.
Right.
And
hardcore is like sometimes straight edge, sometimes has a moral arc to it.
Yeah, there was hardcore, and there were like legit, like even looking back, like legit metal acts as well. So there was a real combination of things.
I went there as an atheist, and every year it was the best time of my life.
Yeah. I'm no longer a person of faith, but they are definitely the best times of my life. If there was any festival, we swapped.
Yeah, funny how we switched.
Yeah. That's we went back to the same forks, and then like we went back. We're back, you know, the other way.
Yeah, did the awkward point, you know? I'm this way.
But I'm a pastor's kid,
and then by osmosis, I find myself somewhere in the middle between.
Yeah,
no, I don't really have any faith.
I'm like, you know, always going to be connected to the church, being a pastor's kid, you know. So like,
right,
yeah, I'm like almost a different thing entirely, you know.
Yeah.
What's weird about being a pastor's kid is you're like a little prince or something. It's the weirdest fucking thing, and only other pastors' kids understand what I'm talking about. You want to get into the other Christian track we got here. I'm not going to get into lyrics too much on this one. It's a lot of just allegory. I mean, just allegory.
You could fill a whole episode with just that.
Yeah, there's they're very, both these bands are very poetic and very good at describing their grapplings with faith and spirituality, and which is why it's partially the reason these two are so good, and outside of just, you know, their faith based roots. But this is Me Without You, and this is probably the most well-known of the Christian bands in the kind of indie or hardcore, post-hardcore scenes, I guess.
And I feel like Me Without You is where you went from being my friend to being my best friend.
Oh, that's sweet, Dustin. But I showed you the wrong stuff first.
We bonded pretty hard over Me Without You.
But I showed you I showed you A to B Live first.
Yes,
and so you didn't see them live.
Yeah.
And then on the way home, I showed you a brother sister.
Yeah, you showed me Gentleman, and I'm like, this is garbage. And then you showed me In a Sweater Poorly Knit, and I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever written.
Yeah, I looking back, it would probably, that makes more sense. I was just like, dude, he's so angry. Yeah, this is In a Market Dimly Lit from Brother Sister. I never talked to him because, like, I don't even know if I could.
I absolutely could. Actually, no, I couldn't. I did the same damn thing. I just remembered.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. There's in a market dimly lit.
What does Nate think? You know what I think.
Well, Nate's familiar with this one, I think, right? Well, you've probably
I think I listened to this album. Yeah, I've listened to this album before. It's been a long time since I did, and I think that I appreciate it more now. Probably because I'm more used to different kind of vocals at this point and more open.
Yeah.
You know, not as
he's got a very weird,
closed-minded
style.
person.
Like I remember, I think we were in the car on the way to Cornerstone.
Yeah.
When you played In a Sweater Poorly Knit for me, and like it ended, and then we just sat there in silence for a minute, and you're like, "So what did you think?" And I was like, "What the fuck, Brad?" Like you showed me that bullshit last year. And you're sitting on this the whole damn time.
Well, that was actually before I was into Brother Sister as much. So like I had a different experience with them. I thought the newer stuff was too weird for me yet, and A to B Life I could actually understand. I could relate to because I too was an incel. So like you know, I could definitely relate to Aaron Weiss's just kind of like, you know, that's probably why he doesn't want to revisit it, is because it was him when he was like, you know, struggling with objectifying the girls that he's into and the guilt that comes with, you know, having sexual feelings, but like, you know, having strong spiritual beliefs, you know. So yeah, it was a lot of that. But
remember at Cornerstone when they canceled that Me Without You show?
Wait, what? Did they cancel one?
It was.
Did they reschedule it?
It was because they were finding like Muslim meanings in Me Without You lyrics, and so they canceled the show. Or like he was supposed to speak or something. It was something.
Oh, it was like an event or something. Yeah.
Something. I don't even.
Well, because after they had a song on the album after this, It's All Crazy, It's All False, It's All a Dream, It's All Right, which is Allah.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, they're not in line with
which just means God
values.
in Arabic."
Yeah, exactly. It's just a
all
translation.
that Allah means is God in Arabic. That's so like I don't know. That's so sensitive to.
That's what they did. That's what Me Without You like did, is they like pushed the envelope. They had, you know, Arabic stuff. They would speak in Hebrew sometimes.
Singing in French.
Yeah, the first album they spoke in French a little bit. But yeah, they've always because he was raised Sufi Muslim, Aaron Weiss. So he was, which is like basically like a kind of, it's like an Indian form of Muslim, which is more it's you know, created there and was inspired by some things from like Hindu. So like it's kind of an amalgamation of things and ideas, but yeah, very, very like, you know, kind of peace and goodwill kind of stuff. I think it happened in like the 1600s. Short lesson on that. But yeah. Sufi Muslim though was the album actually that you like, Dustin, is a lot of stories from a children's book from that he grew up with. So
the Crow and the Cookie. I love that fucking song.
you know that actually confirms it. I'm gonna have you on then for that episode of the podcast, because that's on the list right now. It's All Crazy, It's All False. But we should get back to this song though, In a Market Dimly Lit, which is on my favorite Me Without You album, Brother Sister. It's not my favorite track on the album, but it's the one that has a place, the market. Yeah, this whole album is amazing. I really like his casual references to biblical stuff because I'm a Bible nerd. But when he's like yelling at one point, he's like, "I'm a donkey's jaw on a desert dune beside the bush that Moses saw, that burned and yet was not consumed. She's the silver coin I lost. I'm the sheep who slipped away. We pray with fingers crossed, but you listen patiently anyway." There's like maybe 5 or 6 verses that he's referencing in this short amount of time, and masterfully. you know.
Yep.
This is like, yeah, like I'm still like, although I say I'm not a believer anymore, I am definitely still like a, you know, follower of like Jesus's teachings, because that, you know, that was most of my life. And most of what Jesus said is still pretty legit. He's mostly kind of a hippie socialist type.
I mean, most of it's just don't be a dick.
Most of it, yeah. Most of it is really just don't be a dick. You know, treat others how you want.
Sometimes your morals, even if you don't have the religious component, you might still have adjacent morals because they make sense. Yeah. Like, but I know 1,001 atheists who are more Christian than a lot of evangelical Christians.
Yeah, exactly. It just depends on what your background is and what your particular form of Christianity focuses on, you know. But the way that Aaron Weiss practiced it, I thought was really, really beautiful. He's a freegan. I don't know. Well, he was a freegan for a while. I don't know if he still is, but that's a term for someone that tries to exclusively eat discarded food. So food that is, either being thrown out of a restaurant or is unable to be used on the shelf or something like that. He followed that lifestyle for a while and really tried to live that kind of like pure monkey kind of life, or monk kind of life, not monkey kind of life.
Like I just imagine the little capuchin monkey just dumpster diving.
To swing from trees.
Yeah, you ever seen him like swing from one side of the stage to the other? It's oh my god, amazing. But he's look him up though if you're curious about the person behind the music, Aaron Weiss. He's really, really interesting character, very, very poetic in all of his delivery. That's part of what I love about Me Without You is like it's very visceral. It's like he's kind of like doing slam poetry here and there, or like, you know, it is very, very I don't know. It's everything I needed at the time, and I love it when, you know, people get into this kind of singing, talking kind of thing. You know, there's probably a word for it. But yeah, there's a lot of biblical references that they're covering on this track. I don't have my old Me Without You notebooks around, but I will say that for this part, they say the truth belongs to God, and they have the O censored out because I forget. There is a version of Christianity where you're not supposed to say put the whole word down. Anyway, this next track though, we got one more track before we're going to get into our break halfway through this thing. This track is by a band that Dustin really, really loves, but this isn't from the album that you're the most fond of, because that one didn't really have a location song. But this is from their first album. What was it? Zombies, aliens, vampires, dinosaurs. But this is Hellogoodbye song, Homewrecker.
So it's funny that we were talking about that. Yeah, and also the fact that my logo is like a pentagram with like me with horns. Like I'm not actually a Satanist or anything. I just think it's funny to be like raw evil because like I play like Diablo and shit. Jeff Hansen likes Hellogoodbye.
Every time that I've appeared on any of your podcasts, Hellogoodbye has been involved.
Well, I mean, this is the second one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. We'll try to keep that theme going. On the Me Without You episode, we'll just throw in a Hellogoodbye song to keep it consistent. But yeah, I was really into Hellogoodbye at the times we've been talking about tonight. This album was another one that I didn't necessarily like want to like at first, but then like it kind of like just kind of won me over, the earnestness of the lead singer, you know. Seems like he's actually in love or something.
I do adore Would It Kill You.
Mm-hmm.
This album is okay.
Yeah, but how did you feel about it before Would It Kill You came out?
I felt that it was okay.
Okay.
I was not a big Hellogoodbye fan. And then Would It Kill You came out, and we used to drive around in your old car.
Yeah.
And listening to it, and I fell in love with it there.
Yeah. That's right.
As did my wife.
Yep. And then I played one of the songs at your wedding.
Because we got engaged to When We First Met.
Yep. And I played When We First Met and The Thought That Gives Me the Creeps.
Yep. We drove all the way to Milwaukee, listened to 2 openers. They opened with When We First Met. I proposed, and then we left.
It's always funny to me.
We bought some merch too, but
yeah. I just couldn't handle being in the basking in that moment with the. You should have.
I emailed them and tried to get them involved too, and they never replied.
Oh, come on, Hellogoodbye. That would have been a good opportunity to.
I was going to do the whole come up on stage thing. I was going to do the whole thing, but they wouldn't reply to me.
Cool. That would have been cool.
Yeah, it was.
But it's still very romantic.
Yes.
That you did that. They're really this band for people that might not know, maybe younger listeners, I guess. Hellogoodbye was somewhat responsible for the proliferation of obviously auto-tuned like vocals. Like you hear it on Black Eyed Peas. Little John obviously uses it a lot too. But like this, their really big hit.
Shimmy Quarter Turn.
No. That wasn't on the radio. I'm talking about the one that was like, I like where you are when you drive.
Here in Your Arms.
There was a heavy auto-tune on that song. And a lot of people, I don't know if it just became socially acceptable at that point, but for the next 5 years or so, it was on every goddamn song. And I really, really got sick of auto-tuned.
Every mixtape, every playlist,
every pop, like rock.
Followed immediately by Fireflies.
Yes. Of course, Fireflies is that band. I mean, would that band exist without WithoutYou getting famous?
I don't know, but I will say that song fucking slaps.
It's a good track. It's a good pop track. I'll give you that. I'm partial to Hellogoodbye. I put those two against each other when they came out. I was like, no. It's either like Hellogoodbye or you like that Fireflies, dude.
I can't name another Owl City song though.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, that's a good track though. It's a very, and that Owl City song, I was actually trying to get an Owl City song on here too, but that one didn't work. Very, very emblematic though of that 2000s indie sound where it's like, I don't know, it's like it's poppy, but it's not on the radio. It's not something you'd ever hear on the top 40 at the time. Like you'd maybe hear some of this stuff on like the higher channels on the TV. What was that fucking channel? Fuse? Was it Fuse?
Yep.
Yeah, you'd see some of this stuff on
Fuse
Fuse or some alternate, or maybe MTV alternative rock, blah blah blah. But like
VH1.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was called?
Had a couple of
Fuse.
Before it was Fuse.
Because what it was before it was Fuse was where I discovered
LimeWire?
Panic at the Disco. No.
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
It was called Much Music.
Much Music.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good change. Good
Much
change
Music.
for them.
So it's such wow.
Yeah, it would have worked now, but back then, I think Fuse was a lot better.
Yep.
Fuse is a lot safer. Yeah. Much wow. But they were on Drive Thru Records. One of the best ones I think that came out of it, because they were just poppy, really, really poppy and in your face about it. And I know 1 year AP Magazine, Alternative Press, which was all about like the emo music, post-hardcore stuff, they voted that Hellogoodbye put on the best show of the year because their stage show just ends in a fucking dance party with like floats and just, just crazy stuff all over the place back then. So they really went all out for their just whole thing. They had a lot of fun on their early part of their career. So love that band. But they didn't make a whole lot after Would It Kill You because they stayed indie. The lead singer made a studio in his garage, and they've done a few things since then, but they never got.
I haven't heard anything after Would It Kill You.
Yeah, they kind of.
Maybe I heard one thing actually. I didn't like it.
I was gonna say there was that one. They did one more album that was like, I don't know, a little stripped down from Would It Kill You. But,
right. I think I just completely forgot about it.
I think it's probably, what it is? It's probably our fault that their career failed, Dustin. Like,
it's like ours personally, like
ours
it's
personally, yes, because we didn't keep following them, even though we disliked their new album. You know what I mean? We were like, we disliked it. And we're like, never again.
The album is titled "Everything Is Debatable."
Yeah. I remember being not thrilled with it, but now that they, didn't make anything after that, I'm like, man, I should have bought it anyway, like to support them, But yeah.
I don't see any songs on here that I can even play in my head. Like I'm looking at the track list now, and there's nothing.
Yeah, there wasn't. I don't know. I'll have to revisit that though, like because it could be that like we just didn't appreciate it because it was like it wasn't Would It Kill You,
Yeah.
Because sometimes when a band has a really good CD, it's almost a bad thing because it's like for some fans it's like, oh, everything from here is downhill now.
Yeah. It is weird that I'm so like I definitely like Would It Kill You, but it's weird that I'm so kind of meh on Hellogoodbye because more than literally any other band, they've changed my life.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe it's just so much exposure to it. It's just like just a normalcy. It's a normal aspect of your life. But I think we're gonna take a quick break. We have 6 tracks left for you guys. This next track is the one that, I don't want to put pressure on it, but I think you'll like it. It's from the Extraordinaires. It's a very little known band. We'll listen to it after the break. We'll be back in around 10 minutes.
All right.
Thumbs up.
Yep.
Welcome everybody back to the island. We are here again to talk about some 2000s indie music of varying types. They're all kind of in a somewhat poppy vein because that's what a lot of the indie was in the 2000s. And indie meaning independent in this case. Yeah.
Before we get into that, during the break, Brad was showing us his skills at yodeling. So maybe you would like to show the audience your yodeling skills.
Actually, I need a track. I need a track behind me in order to hear the.
Well, I'm sure Nate can help you with that.
No. You want to go into that yodeling track? The Extraordinaires, 7 C's.
Yeah. Oh wait, we're gonna play 7 C's, the Extraordinaires.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, please, David.
The yodeling.
I should have a sign for you too.
It's taking a second to load here.
Okay. Oh, come on, Extraordinaires. Did you forget to pay your YouTube bill? They are definitely
I don't know.
Lesser known.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Wait, it was recommended by who?
Matthew Carroll from the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast.
Oh, okay.
Or should I say Marvel Cinematic Multiverse podcast.
But if you just go MCU, then you could call it McCup.
McCup? MCUP?
There's a good intro stinger for you, you know?
Hey, Dustin.
Come take a drink of McCup.
Hey, Dustin, spell iCup. Spell iCup.
I watch you pee.
That was one of my favorite jokes when I was a kid. The spell iCup, and we would just do it back and forth and back and forth. But yeah, that was Seven Seas by the Extraordinaires, and that's a band from the mid 2000s. I think this was like 07, but yeah, their albums are very conceptual. This whole album that he did is like a whole like short story about like a love story between a girl at the harbor and then this pirate guy, and then they fall in love. So very very
change
touching
another
album.
track.
You should really listen to this album, by the way, Dustin. I think you'd dig it if you like what you heard in that track. What do you think of that? Actually, this is the one I'm really curious about. What did you think of this track so far? Like,
it's pretty good.
The rest of them.
I might listen to a bit more of them.
Yeah,
see if it's something I'd be interested in.
Yeah, this album in particular like really works together as like a unit. So I think you'd appreciate it. It's another kind of like Neutral Milk kind of inspired style, a little bit, because there's some folk elements and some of the instruments you hear in some Neutral Milk. But
so
yeah,
real quick.
Yeah,
I'm gonna spoil another of my entries here. Okay. Because it's just relevant right now.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the name of the band that sings this song, and then you just said it, like right as I was trying to think about it.
Wait. Is this the band?
Neutral Milk.
Oh, Neutral Milk. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, what the? I can't think of the band.
Oh, wait. Nate, can you add back on that one song that we were going to put on this playlist? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Same one I just added to the list.
Know that you weren't gonna. I
think I thought that you had added it, and I forgot after that. So yeah,
okay,
just add one, because we did have one Neutral Milk that we were going to throw on the list.
I can almost guarantee it's the one that I just put on my list.
I mean, there is one very popular location-based Neutral Milk Hotel song. So.
Right, Two-Headed Boy. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah. Of course, it's Two-Headed Boy. Yeah. So yeah, that's a band that you obviously love. I think that band inspired a lot of some of this 2000s indie stuff. They were all trying to, in retrospect, I think a lot of them were trying to capture that magic again from that In an Aeroplane Over a Sea album. But yeah, just I really thought that this was a good send up to that kind of style. And please listen to my episode of this album with Matthew Carroll from the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. It's a good episode, and we really dive into it. But no one knows about this album, so far no one has really listened in. Yeah.
Did you ever manage to get on Apple Podcasts?
No. I can only pay for one right now, and I've chosen Spotify for the time being. Yeah.
That's on YouTube, right?
Well, he and Nate is using YouTube. Yes, we use YouTube Music for this podcast.
But the one that you're telling me to listen to, is that on YouTube?
Yes. Yeah.
If so, link it.
Yeah, because this is on YouTube. Yes, this is on YouTube. So yeah,
I got a 10-hour day tomorrow. I can listen to a little more.
I believe that's how I listened to it, because I don't know if it's on Spotify. But yeah. Anyway, great album. Check it out. I won't explain too much of the what's going on, because it's kind of spoilers for the album, so if you're going to actually listen to this album, like, you're gonna want this to be fresh. So, but we're gonna move on to another very dear band of ours. This is Cloud Cult, and I believe you introduced me to Cloud Cult.
I 100% did, and I discovered them on an insurance commercial.
Yes, they were on the insurance commercial, one of the early progressive commercials, I think.
Before
Lucky Today. Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell is this? This is great.
Yeah, it was a lot of kind of styles at once, almost like a Beck kind of thing.
Yeah. Spent way too long trying to get this album on LimeWire.
Yeah, no, I remember when you found it. I remember you were so excited when you finally found it. And then this is from this album, Tea Feels Good Ghosts, or Tea Party Through Tornadoes, is just beautiful start to finish. It'll probably make you tear up or cry at some point if you are into it. It's very, I fucking love it.
Grandpa's radio.
Right. But yeah, this is The Will of a Volcano by Cloud Cult.
You'll either love it or hate it if you have not heard it.
Like if you were to take the yelling Aaron Weiss and the singing Aaron Weiss and like jam them together.
Yep.
Man, these are deep cuts. Kind of proggy. Maybe that's what maybe it was prog that I was into. I always thought it was post-hardcore.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
Mars Volta
was prog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of blend.
Yeah. We like kind of, it's like some people like kind of reinvented a proggy kind of approach to music for the 2000s.
God, I listened to Cloud Cult so fucking much.
Well, that was one of the few. you had a small MP3 player, right? And you could not fit too much music, so most of it was Cloud Cult. Right?
And I put their entire discography.
Yeah. I really wanted to include the song about Jesus, the grandson of Jesus or whatever.
The story of the grandson of Jesus.
Yeah. Not location based, but it's a fun track. Yeah. Just like there's a guy that claims to be Jesus and everyone just rolls with it. They're like, yeah, sure, okay. Like, or the grandson of Jesus.
I don't know if they have any more than 2 albums, but the 2 albums I have heard are both fucking stellar. Yeah,
they have a really good discography, but they definitely lean more to the experimental side after this.
Yeah.
So it's like they do a lot of performance art too. So they used to have someone like that would be painting a canvas like live while they were performing, and it would be done at the end of the show. And I don't know if you could buy it or what, but they would do some performance art school student stuff. But they were when they really got to these kind of like soulful kind of moments, they're really, really good. And it's a very simple song too. Like it's just repeating the same thing, just kind of about just youth in general. I think, just the power of youth. But yeah. Oh my God, I'm like literally like getting a little emotional thinking about the rest of the songs on this album.
They're so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that like they do the whole whole lifetime of a love story thing where someone inevitably dies and you're just like, oh, why, Cloud Cult? Why did you paint this story together like this? But yeah, again, I know I'm recommending every album on this list, guys, but listen to every album on this list.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So what did you have to say about the next track though, Dustin? I'm curious.
So I can see from your list that you picked Bright Eyes, Landlocked Blues from I'm Wide Awake It's Morning.
Had to include Bright Eyes, right?
Not only were you looking at Bright Eyes, but you were looking at I'm Wide Awake It's Morning, and you picked Landlocked Blues over at the bottom of everything.
Here's the thing.
And that's
I love the bottom of I love the bottom at the bottom of everything, but it was also a little overplayed in my time. Like,
for good reasons.
But okay, I love that song. I do. I really, really love that song. But Kevin, my brother, was really particular to Landlocked Blues. So he kind of I've kind of grown to like Landlocked Blues more, I think, now. But like, yeah, I mean, at the bottom of everything is like an anthem. It's like it's a pretty easy song to pick up and learn. It's got some powerful messages. It's a good song. It is a good song, and I did consider it, but I'm sorry, Dustin. I went with Landlocked Blues. I'm sorry I disappointed you, Dustin.
You got one more time, Brad. This
all right,
it's got your name on it, bro.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dustin. I'm sorry. So, what are you gonna take control of the show after you you beat the crap out of me?
I'm gonna buy you out. You're like, I don't really know anything about music, but here's something.
Yeah. I will. I'll take the helm of your podcasting, and I will start talking about music every week. And I'll start doing Resident Evil videos.
It's gonna be all video game music. Here's Chrono Trigger. See you in an hour.
Ooh, we really should do Chrono. That's a good soundtrack. That's a great soundtrack.
Yes.
But yeah, let's move on to Bright Eyes, though. Definitely one of my formative bands.
You should do an anime music episode one day.
I agree. Completely agree.
Sleep in my bed. As I'm leaving, she wakes up.
Maybe it was a different song Kevin liked.
I dreamed you were carried away.
I have zero attachment to this song.
Because you either are like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Fun
or
fact.
Like, this is cool.
Fun fact about that airplane, that's actually the same plane that Weird Al was on its way to Albuquerque.
Wow. Okay. So this is
he actually survived. Yeah.
Okay. So at the bottom of everything is kind of in the same universe as Albuquerque.
Yep. It's in the Aliverse.
Very cool.
Yep.
Very cool. Yeah. That's canon.
Yeah.
But yeah, you weren't as fond of this one though.
No. Bright Eyes, like I either super love the song or I super despise the song.
Well, this album gets very, very I don't know, more strict country, Yeah. There's definitely like it's not my favorite album of his. Yeah. Like there's like you said, there's a few tracks that really, really get you, and then the other ones are like, kind of like these are nice.
My favorite Bright Eyes album and I struggle to even call it a Bright Eyes album, except that his name is in it. But it's Bright Eyes and Sun Ambulance. I can't remember the name of the actual album, but it's a collab between Bright Eyes and Sun Ambulance. It's so fucking good.
Oh, okay. Is that earlier Bright Eyes?
I don't know when it is.
Okay.
Let me look it up on Google here.
Yeah. But yeah, Bright Eyes was definitely a divisive group, though, because Connor has a voice that sounds like it's constantly on the brink of crying. So a lot of people, called him emo, though, which was like never technically accurate because like he didn't play the style of emo at all.
Yeah.
He was a folk like country kid, I mean, his first album is like, has a little edge to it, but I mean, it's not like emo music. But yeah, everyone, this is what a lot of people associated with emo, though. Like they started saying anything that was remotely sad was emo music.
Yeah.
God, I sound old right now. The emo music is rap music.
The album was Oh Holy Fools, the music of Sun Ambulance and Bright Eyes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's my favorite Bright Eyes album. Katie Come True and Over the Concourse are both fucking stellar.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I don't think I've heard those too much.
They're so good.
Yeah.
You could you should that's the one you probably should have did is on the Concourse. It's so good.
Yeah. But I will say I really enjoyed this track though. But it was one that I didn't grow an appreciation for until later. but it's got a really, really great the backing vocals I think are really amazing by Emmylou Harris. And it's a very, you know, standard kind of country western song. Like this is like I think, you know, my whole take on Conor Oberst is that he is our generation's best like classic singer-songwriter. You know, I think that the breadth of his work and like, you know, how technical it is, and you know, if you can get, you know, Bob Dylan had to get over people making fun of his voice in order to, you know, keep going in the industry. You know, everyone, you know, he's got that kind of classic weird voice. But yeah, I think he's, you know, one of the best in our generation for that kind of older style of songwriting.
Yeah, I'm so hot and cold. I like their faster stuff.
Yeah, he's really fun when he's faster. Like,
yeah, but his slow stuff.
I'm
good.
Yeah. Again, kind of like Me Without You. He's some of his best stuff is when he's at his angriest.
Yeah. But Me Without You, I like their slower stuff more.
Well, I mean, I guess that's where we. Well, I mean, I almost see those as two different bands in a way. Like, there's A to B Life, and then the rest. You know, like it's like he was really pissed off for one album, and then he fucking took a chill pill. Like, but yeah. But yeah, we'll move on though. This is a group though that I think you enjoyed a bit back in the day.
I enjoy like 2 songs of theirs.
Yeah,
quite a bit. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
This
well,
is
they
not
have the Sidewalks, right? Sidewalks, the big one. Yeah.
No, well, Daylight.
Is there one Sidewalks too?
I think it's on Sidewalks, but
on Sidewalks. Okay. But yeah, they were a big indie pop duo though at the time though. They were like kind of cutting edge, like YouTube, going viral on YouTube for their stuff, and primarily becoming known from that, which wasn't done very often by music people. Like that wasn't your avenue to become famous back then, but Matt and Kim did, and I think they still do stuff. But
there's at least Daylight is the poppiest, happiest song that you will ever hear in your entire life if you have not heard it.
They have a very, very happy style. They're even fucking smiling at while they're playing.
They are anti-emo. They are the
exactly. Yes, this is so if you're wondering why this is too happy, maybe this is a response to emo music. Although I don't know what this track is. This is kind of a random one.
This track either.
So I picked a random one that was a location based off of the most popular album. So this is Northeast, which I was thinking they probably meant like the Northeast.
Late summertime.
And you can't say I didn't give Pretty Odd a chance. I listened to that album to death.
No, I know. It was just, I just wish they had another chance.
Yeah. I think that's mainly what it was, is that I lived with some people who listened to it obsessively. So
see, I have the benefit of never listening to radio or watching music videos, so I'm not affected by how often something's played.
I used to listen to radio, but I don't listen to radio anymore. So I'm not connected with actually, that's not true. Lately, I've been listening to this station called The Resistance, which is so heavily geared towards me specifically.
I was about to say, of course you are.
Yeah. Well, and it's like there's only a good, every 4 songs. I'm like, oh yeah. But it's like, random like emo and pop punk adjacent stuff that I used to love in like high school. I'm like, oh god damn it, they made a station for me now. Yeah. That means I'm old. Like
the other day, me and my daughter were walking, and we walked past the local radio station. And so I asked her, I was like, do you know what a radio is? And she has no idea what a radio is.
I mean, why would you? Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
the car radio, but
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure there's some people that don't even know it does anything.
exactly. But to her, yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm playing
Yeah.
the music
Like,
from
people
my
are young
phone.
enough. Yeah, yeah.
Like I have a
Right.
Bluetooth receiver and I just stream whatever on Apple Music.
Uh-huh.
I don't like letting other people choose music for me.
Well, and this was like one of the
Mhm.
first, this group was one of the first groups where you had to go and choose to go listen to them.
Yeah.
Like you weren't going to hear them on the radio. And they also, they kind of like got popular fast. So like, it's not like you could have gone and seen a show or whatever on their way up.
I like my wife's favorite
My wife.
music service is Pandora. And I
Okay.
think she has gone mad because why would
Yeah.
you not want to pick a song? Like just listen to what you want to listen to. Don't let
Plus, Pandora's not great at it.
Yeah.
From what my feelings.
yeah.
Pretty much, I feel like any station inevitably will play Gorillaz, and that's my problem with Pandora.
Yeah.
So yeah,
21 degrees of gorillas.
yeah. I just it's not. I don't know. I abandoned. It was a great thing for a minute there, though. That was a really really cool service at first.
I was
'Cause, like, oh my
Spotify
god,
day
you can listen to
one.
anything. Well, no, I was resistant to Spotify. I was very
Not me.
resistant. I was like, what? I don't know. I don't want
Yeah,
to pay
not
money. I was now I'm like, I'll pay one service, one audio streaming service, one video streaming service, and one video game thing.
Have you told the people here about your album on Spotify, Bradley?
What album? Are you talking about Alacrity?
I am.
Why are you
you
trying to embarrass me right now?
Have you
Dustin?
told your viewers about that?
I don't think
it's
I've actually
good.
talked about it. I don't think I've actually talked about it on the live streams. Like we've definitely joked about it on Side A a bit. But yeah, if you want, you can hear my backup vocals and bass work on an album called Whatever Happened to Good TV on Spotify.
I know that it would make you incredibly comfortable, uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but I think you should do an episode on it.
I have thought about it.
I really think you should. I think that'd be great watch.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want people to see me listening to it. Is the thing. See me jamming out so hard to my own stuff.
Well, and you could get yourself into the mindset by listening to the calendar hung itself first.
There we go. Yeah, I'll take myself right back to teenage angst, Brad. Yeah. There's some good times, but there's pretty confused times for the most part.
I would. Yeah.
Yeah. But what do you know about Tegan and Sara, though? I don't know. I'm not sure what your feeling is on Tegan and Sara.
I have never liked Tegan and Sara.
All right.
This so far, having
Yeah.
not ever heard this song, I don't believe.
Yeah.
Just looking at the name Tegan and Sara is probably the biggest miss on this list.
Okay. That's fair. This one I included because of its indie status. Tegan and Sara is kind of quintessential 2000s indie pop group. Their first album is weird, and everything after that's pretty good, I think, for like indie music. The first album, they were just really young, and they have a song about a tree that's really ham-fisted. It's like a hippie kind of song, but it's not very well. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But this song is Living Room from what was that album? If It Was You. And me and our mutual friend Dahlia actually used to listen to this. Well, I mean, not me and you didn't listen to this, but me and our mutual friend Dahlia listened to Tegan and Sara quite a bit. It was always playing in my room.
Yep, it was.
So this is probably why you dislike it.
Well, from the get-go, I wasn't a fan.
Yeah,
but she was always trying to get me to like it. I'm like,
yeah,
nah.
That's fair. Yeah. But this is my favorite, I think, Tegan and Sara song. It's I think when they're at their best, this is Living Room. Yeah, they're twin sisters.
You are so to music what I am to video games.
Absolutely.
I spent.
You get it.
I never really heard these guys before, but I like this.
I don't know how I slept in with friends over.
Because there are usually like 8 people in your room, and they're all like sprawled out on the floor. Can't even open the fucking door. It's like,
there was the one time Keith passed out really drunk in front of the door, so no one could get out. And we had to move his like dead weight out of in front of the door. And he missed his flight to go back to basic training and stuff. It was not good.
Yeah.
Shit.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god!
I miss
think
Keith.
that was probably the drunkest I think I ever saw him. He was just kept on telling everyone that they were good people.
I have a friend that, like, not for the reasons that you're gonna think, but reminds me a lot about Keith.
Yeah.
Because every time that you talk to him, he says some crazy off the wall shit. You're like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, he was really fond of like saying something really like violent to get a reaction, you know? And yeah. Miss you, Keith. Keith lives out in Denver, Colorado these days, so I mostly just see him on the game chat every now and again. But we'd hang out a lot though. Me, you, Keith, and the gang in my room, and I don't know how I slept like that, but
apparently really well and really easily, because you went straight the fuck to sleep.
No big deal. I could sleep in a van driving 70 miles an hour on top of a bass amp. Now I'm sounding very old. I'm getting older, I think, by the minute in this podcast. So why don't we move on to something else that'll make me feel old again? This is Streetlight Manifesto's song, A Better Place, A Better Time. Now, did you ever see Streetlight with us, Dustin? I forget.
No.
Okay. That's someone you didn't see with us, but BRB gonna listen to 3 hours of Streetlight Manifesto after this. Goddamn.
Very long, bassy outro.
Damn it, Thomas Kalnaki. I want you back in the studio. Want you doing something in the studio. He was he's such a perfectionist at his like fucking sound. Anyway, that was A Better Place, Better Time. It's one of my favorite Streetlight Manifesto songs. I think one of their best. It's I don't know. Have you guys looked into this song or looked at the lyrics of this song at all before? Like, this song is like a particularly like meaningful one, I think, because this song is all about suicide. Actually, a lot of this song is kind of like, really, it's kind of like a really good way to react to someone that is suicidal and how to be supportive to someone that is having those kinds of thoughts without being pushy about it. So like, this line that's really, dark, I'll draw your bath and I'll load your gun, but I hope so bad that you bathe and hunt. So it's like, it's basically saying like, I'll support you right to the end of the line, if you really want to follow through with this. But I really hope that you choose not to do this.
Yeah. That's why when I encounter someone who's down, I usually just start skanking.
I should do that sometime, and that might actually work to some extent.
Depends on the person.
Depends on the person, I guess. But but there was a lot of anti-suicide messages in Streetlight Manifesto. Like, if you listen to like the lyrics in the first couple of albums, like, it must have been something that Thomas Kalnaki like dealt with in his life and with his friends around him. But his perspective was always to like maintain positivity and like look at, try to not focus on the dark parts of life and instead, like, I loved Thomas Kalnacki, the lead singer of Streetlight Manifesto in high school. I had a friend who almost exclusively listened to Streetlight Manifesto. Shout out Jeff Rudisil. He was the one that introduced everyone to Streetlight Manifesto in Beloit.
I know this is similar to what I was saying earlier, but you know how when you personally play a game and then you finish playing the game and you're like, that was fun, and that's it. And then I'm like, oh, it's art. And like the developer was thinking all this stuff.
I know. I really I try to put my mind in the perspective when I'm looking at like video game stuff in the same way, but I definitely I don't. It's not as natural to me as when I'm listening to music.
See, when I pick my songs, I'm like, that sounded good. That had good sound. I like the sounds he made.
yeah. He made good sound. I put behind video.
Made my ears happy. Like seriously, when I'm making YouTube videos, I just kind of randomly pick something. I have no thought process that goes into it.
I mean, that is like the basis of like, producing and, doing that kind of stuff in the studio. But like, then you like build on that and build on that and build on that. And then you develop, an ear for certain things that you like production wise. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like especially when you're putting together like a YouTube video or something, it's more about the feeling of the scene or what you're trying to portray or talk about than the sound itself.
Yeah.
But yeah. Are there like regular bands that do like copyright free stuff that they put out to use for YouTube videos?
Bands not quite as much, but there are several places that produce copyright free music. YouTube itself being one of them. If you go to YouTube Studio, actually let me open it so I can see the
but like you wouldn't find like a band like Blink-182 with an album.
Oh no. There is,
you know what I mean? Like is there someone that does that kind of stuff? Even
there's
as like
one. There's one that I know of.
Okay, and they just release their albums like that?
That is Harris Heller.
Okay. I think that's an interesting way to do it, like to go about it, maybe.
You remember the intro that I had that had lyrics?
I can't remember what it sounded like, but
well, it was Harris Heller.
Okay.
He's released a couple hundred tracks now.
That's really cool.
But most of them are instrumental, but
yeah. Well, that's a big service that people do to make these YouTube videos and streams and everything operate. Like it's because of people like that we have the tools to make our channels and shit.
Harris Heller taught me everything I know about content creation.
Okay, I'll have to check him out. I haven't heard his name before, but you guys want to get on to the last track though of the night?
Yes, sir.
And anyone in the chat want to guess what we're about to listen to? Or if there's anyone in the chat, what do you think this next song is? It's Neutral Milk Hotel. It's a location-based song, and everyone loves it. What could it be? I wish I had a who's that Pokemon thing in the shape of.
Well, it's just
an album. Anyway, I will tarry no further. This is Holland 1945 by Neutral Milk Hotel, the most infamous name-based Neutral Milk song.
Not the one I thought it was going to be, but still acceptable.
Oh, really? Which one did you think?
In an Aeroplane Over the Sea.
Shit, I guess that is a place.
I mean, it is a place.
Fuck. It's a good track.
It is kind of sad too, though. I mean, there's that part where he's talking about the world. It's sad to see the world agree they'd rather see their faces filled with flies. Basically, like saying that, like, oh yeah, most people were anti-Semitic at the time, and it took a long fucking time for anyone to notice what was happening to the Jewish people, and of course the gypsies and everybody else that they didn't like.
Yep. yeah, this album is a lot of that. A lot of references to the Holocaust and the horrors of the Holocaust, mixed in with this fun romantic side story about him and Frank. It's always been a weird premise. Yeah, this is legendary for indie music. This is what sent everyone off to make their own fucking like acoustic folk band thing, and I don't think it's ever quite been replicated like it was in this album,
right?
I'm biased, but
if I can do it, a side note, I just read apparently this song is special to Stephen Colbert. He probably listened to it when he was up and coming in like the Chicago improv scene. Apparently he had an emotional connection to the song. It was reported in the New York Times by Maureen Dowd that he thought about it in relation to the fact that his brother and his father, two of his older brothers and his father were killed in a plane crash when he was 10.
Oh shit. Oh man.
Yeah, so it was played in the the song was played in the closing credits of the final episode of the Colbert Report.
Oh yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah. I don't think I thought anything of it. But yeah, no, it's really, really sad stuff in general. Like, like it's this is one of the most positive sounding songs, but it's still like pretty dark. Dark. Yeah. The only girl I ever loved was born with roses in her eyes, but then they buried her alive one evening, 1945, with just her sister at her side. And only weeks before the guns all came and rained on everyone. So like right at the end of the war too, it really like paints the picture pretty well in these kind of like weird I don't know, poetic ramblings that Jeff Mangum's known for.
So on a similar note, have you ever been present when somebody first found out what Pumped Up Kicks was about and got to see their reaction?
I was
one of those people.
Yeah. Because that one I looked up. I think I looked that one up because I was like, what the fuck are they saying? What Pumped Up Kicks? Why are they saying that? And then I saw the explanation. I'm like, what a weird like ancillary connection.
It's the happiest sounding song.
You better have your pumped up kicks because you're going to be running. Like that's such a that is a weird choice as a songwriter.
So, we ready for my list?
Oh yeah, that's right. You got your list coming up. That's right. You got your 12 that you would have picked.
Well, 13 now. I added another
13.
one. Since
you added another
13.
one since we added. Okay, good call.
I wanted to match you. Okay, so these are in no particular order.
Okay.
Number 1 is In a Sweater, Poorly Knit. Me Without You. Of course, it has to be.
Yep.
Number 2, Panic at the Disco, Hey Look Ma, I Made It, which is one of their newer songs. Watch the music video; it's great.
Okay.
Number 3,
wait, I think I saw that video
with the puppet.
I think I might have seen that one.
Puppet Brendan Urie.
I don't know. I might have been really drunk. Go on.
Number 3 is actually The Weeknd, Blinding Lights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Number 4, Neutral Milk Hotel and An Aeroplane Over the Sea.
Of course.
5, Frank Sinatra, My Way.
Oh, Sinatra guy, huh?
Just a couple songs. Mainly that one.
Okay. You ever listen to you ever listen to a full album of Frank Sinatra?
No.
Okay. We did 2 episodes about Frank Sinatra, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
One that accidentally is our highest listened episode, and then the follow-up that none of those people listened to as well.
Number 6, The Used, Taste of Ink.
Oh Oh, the Used.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that really takes me back.
Number 7, and you'll appreciate this one, Bradley.
Yeah.
Hit the Lights, Untitled, hidden track.
Oh God. Okay. I knew a day would come when this was brought up on the podcast. So I'm just gonna say trigger warning. This song is about a girl being abducted and murdered by an ex-boyfriend. It's very, very disturbing. Yep. But that's also the point of the song. Like, that's this whole band shtick, is that they're like, it's the poppiest pop punk you've ever heard, but like very violent, like imagery and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, definite trigger warning if you're gonna listen to that one.
Yeah, runner up for Hit the Lights would have been 100 times.
Okay. And I like Body Bag.
Body Bag's okay, but
Body Bag is just a great way to get the message across of this is what this band is about.
Also, fun fact about that is they've actually started listing that track on streaming services, so you don't even have to listen for 8 minutes on the last track anymore. You can just play that.
Oh man, I haven't heard that one in so long because it's so.
I go back to it
so bad. Man, I remember when we discovered it, we're like, what the fuck is this? Why would they record this?
Number 8, a song that is actually pretty hard to find, I feel like. Lola Ray, What It Feels Like. That song is hard to track down.
I know.
I feel like they have some rights issues with streaming services.
Well, so they were signed to the Good Charlotte Guys' record label, and they put out 2 albums, and then I'm assuming that record label fell apart and they fell with it, which I've experienced. Not fun. But yeah, Lola Ray was another band from Dahlia that Dahlia really loved. Really, really good, like kind of edgy, like edgier pop punk that was like more, energetic and a lot more sexual, more adult than most pop punk. But yeah, Lola Ray's 2 albums, Liars and the one what it feels like was on.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the album.
It's they're both any Lola Ray you can find out there. Listen to their tracks. I know there's like you can't even find the entire album on YouTube. Like that's how obscure, like that's how like
I Don't Know You is the name of the album.
Ended up doing. Oh, I Don't Know You. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could have been. I think they could have been a big thing. I found the lead singer on LinkedIn. I've sent him a message.
Did he reply?
Not yet, but he's still doing. He's doing like production stuff now in LA. So like he's still kind of doing some stuff in the business, but not the music so much. But I'm really hoping he responds to me because I want to geek out at talking to him about some shit. But yeah, what's next on your list?
Number 9 is something that no one outside of me and Brad have ever heard. Campbell the Band, Cancer.
Yeah, Campbell the Band.
So the story behind this one.
Yeah.
Someone randomly walked up to our camp at Cornerstone.
Yep.
And just out of the blue and just handed me a flyer for Campbell the Band. And I went and saw them, and they were pretty much my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember their name at all the next day.
Yeah.
So I couldn't find them on the schedule to go see them again because they were actually going to be playing stage, whereas when I saw them, they were just like playing in front of their RV.
Yeah.
And our youth group leader was driving back from getting some food for us.
Was that Kathy Price or Adam?
It was Kathy.
Kathy Price.
And she saw
friend of the show, Kathy Price.
She saw a vehicle broken down on the side of the road, and it just happened to be that band broken down on the side of the road. And she's like, one of the guys in my group is like super big into you. So they gave her an EP to give to me.
Yeah.
And then I got to go see them again. And I was like, the odds of that are too low. Like, I got to be Christian now.
Yeah, that's right. You were like, now I believe in God.
I was like, yeah, it's got
probability wise.
Math is the only way to get to me because I'm a programmer at heart. So it has to be math.
That's such that's such a like you avenue to believe.
Got to be math. So that's what did that. So number, and they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, it's really hard to find.
Yes. But there is a YouTube video for Campbell the band Cancer. Definitely check it out. It's great. I tried to get them.
A lot of Dispute went on to
I love La Dispute
gain a following.
Also. Yeah. So the next would be number 10, Weezer, Perfect Situation.
Yeah.
It's a good song. I love the notes he hits in there.
It's a good. It's a lot of people hate that album because it's like a lot poppier, but I think it's a solid album.
Yeah. Number 11.
Except for the Hollywood one.
And that Pork and Beans song sucks.
It was okay. It was a return to form a little bit. I get it.
Number 11, Billy Joel, River of Dreams.
Okay, haven't heard that one at all.
Yeah. 12, Streetlight Run, Existentialism on Prom Night.
Oh, Streetlight Run. Fuck, Dustin. I should have put that on the list.
You should have,
yeah. That's a really dude's a brother and sister Methodist, pastor's kids, really related to them. But really beautiful stuff. You got from the guy that used to be in Taking Back Sunday.
So I'm actually going to change my 13 on the fly.
Okay.
Here because I found something that I just thought of something that does fit your location theme perfectly.
Oh, okay.
And that I also super love. That would be Hawthorne Heights, Ohio is for Lovers.
Oh. Come on, wrist and black my eyes. Come on, wrist and black my eyes.
And that's my list.
I can't. It's hard making fun of that band because there was also a tragedy involving one of the members of that band. But they were the they were an emo band and one of their members did commit suicide. Yeah. So, but before that happened, they were kind of the like poster band for like, oh, you've heard this emo stuff? This is Hawthorne Heights. Like,
yep. But it's a good song.
Parents were just like, no, not in my house.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that album is definitely emblematic of that genre. Like, I mean, you had your Under Oath, They're Only Chasing Safety, do a similar thing. It was very, very like, I mean, literally talking about cutting your wrists and harming yourself. It's, which a lot of music was talking about right then,
And I just realized my original number 13 also fit the location theme, but I didn't think of that when I put it on there. It was Yellow Card, Ocean Avenue.
I almost put that on the list too. Yeah. But I didn't know if you I forgot if you were into Yellow Card, but now that I'm talking about it, of course you're into Yellow Card.
I adore Yellow Card.
yeah. I can't believe I'm forgetting. But also they weren't definitely probably one of the least indie of the things, but
didn't they get signed for winning like an MTV contest? I thought that was how they got signed in the first place.
Well, okay. Well, here's the thing: they had a whole album as a completely different sounding, different incarnation of the band before becoming the Yellow Card with like the violin and poppy vocals. So there was probably a record switch over then. Yeah. But they were pretty damn big back then. Yeah. I was definitely rocking the Yellow Card gear.
I think it was off their second big album, Lights and Sounds. That Rough Landing Holly. I love that fucking song.
Good track. And then they had I don't want to get out too much on this. We're going to wrap up here in a second. But they had this song 2 weeks from 20 that came out, right?
Yep.
And this was while Keith was off in Iraq/Afghanistan on
it
his
was.
tours. So it was a really, really emotional song for me because it was talking about, a guy that went to fight in a war that he didn't understand. It was literally about Iraq because it was, at the time when that was, still pretty fresh. And my brother was also around the same age. So I was just dreading. I was like weirdly dreading like his birthday coming up to 20. I'm like, oh, he dies in this song 2 weeks from 20. Fucking, and it's all sad, fucking, yeah. They really got me with that one. Yellow card really got me with that one. You blonde haired bastard. We have one more thing though we do before we get out of here. We could talk all night about this. See, you're not bad at talking about music, Dustin. Like you just, it's just not like the lyric stuff isn't what you're focused on,
I mean, it ultimately boils down to I like this song or I don't like this song.
Yeah. Like, and then next time we have you on, we're just gonna have you go like,
yeah.
No audio element.
Thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah. For the listeners out there. Wait, no, we don't have an audio only medium of this one yet. You have to watch this. You have to look at our mugs. Anyway, the last thing we do is go around the horn and see what everyone has been listening to or what you got to plug. So I'll start off. I have been listening to honestly just a lot of this nostalgia. While I was picking out the playlist, I was going off into random nostalgia tangents with like Me Without You, So Long Forgotten, and a little Felix Culpa, of course, because that's in a similar vein as well. As far as what I got to plug, I would say check out Travelers, a Dark podcast if you're into the German Netflix show Dark. Me and my sister do that podcast, and we're working on season 2 right now, and we're at the end of season 2 actually, and have more episodes coming out. Other than that, check out Side A. We just had Earwolf engineer Jordan Duffy. Sorry, I almost said Carol Duffy, but we talk about Carol King. She was an amazing guest.
You mashed it up.
I mashed it up. Carol Duffy, Jordan King. Jordan King, that is someone though. Anyway, she was on the podcast. She was an amazing guest. I was so thrilled to talk to her. I am an Earwolf nut. So I got to nerd out a little bit with her. Check out that episode. It's episode 79 of Side A about Carol King's Tapestry. What about you, Dustin? We'll go with you and then we'll end with Nate.
So I've since January, I've been playing through all the mainline Resident Evils in order, and we just wrapped up Village. I'm still editing that video, but I do have 4 parts of Resident Evil Village up on YouTube, and I posted the link to the chat. I've also been far more frequently making TikToks where I basically just do a joke.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that at the top. I was gonna plug that.
Yep.
But what's your TikTok handle?
And that is also in the chat, but it's at Haptic GG.
All right. Awesome.
So those are my main 2 things. And sometimes I stream, but I haven't done that in forever.
Yeah. Streaming is hard. Yeah. Nice. Check out the channel though. Check out the links in the description or chat or wherever that lands with this.
Hopefully the 5th and final episode of Resident Evil Village hopefully be out this week.
Nice. Yeah. It's been almost 6 months or so total working on Resident Evil stuff. So
I streamed the first 7 and then just did YouTube videos for Village.
Yep.
And
I've been doing a lot of Resident Evil.
I think it was like February 2nd or something that I started.
Well, and also I gotta say, check out his Let's Plays on YouTube. I really, really enjoy his Let's Plays series where he plays like random free indie games that you can try out.
Yeah. We'll definitely be getting back to those in a big way once Village comes out.
Yeah. You had to finish up your anthology or whatever of Resident Evil. Yeah. Dustin's got all sorts of stuff coming out all the time, so definitely check out his different social media feeds. What about you, Nate? What are you listening to? What do you got to plug?
Well, right now I don't have much to plug because I've been not making many videos on my YouTube channel, Raw Evil Gaming. I'm thinking about rebranding yet again, but with an even better idea than before. We've been talking about for a while, like a talk show that takes place in Minecraft. So I'm coming up with a logo idea, and I'm coming up with a way that I can pay for and run the server and what it would look like, and trying to make sure that I can get guests hosted easily for it. But what I'm listening to lately, for some reason, I just got on like another Pink Floyd kick again. I checked out The Wall again because I kind of wanted to hear, like, I've seen the movie and like I've revisited The Wall a few times in the last couple of years, but like I wanted to like listen to it, and I'm just like kind of into that right now.
Yeah.
Concept albums.
Yeah. And if you want a breakdown of The Wall, we have 2 episodes on side A, part 1, part 2. But yeah, well, check out his channel though. There's a lot on your channel though. Still, there's always the back catalog.
Yeah, for sure. I still have. Exactly.
Yeah, check out our back catalog on this channel too. For whatever YouTube allows us to still have up, we will have up. And you can see our backlog of the island and the unedited streams of side B. Also, check out the Patreon, please. I always forget the Patreon to last. Please check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Flyover State Park. I have a $1 tier, $3 tier, and $5 tier. So the $1 tier gets you all the side B episodes. $3 tier gets you voting privileges. And then the $5 tier, for a limited time only, I will make a music video with a franchise and song of your choice. You just got to tell me a specific part of the franchise or character or something you're interested in. But
I hear that if you donate at $5, you immediately become instantly handsome.
That's true. Yeah. We only have one $5 patron at this point, but you can join their ranks. He even has a double of him on his shirt. He's so handsome they have merch. Yeah. Check out patreon.com/Flyover State Park. I'm still putting some stuff out for you, and hopefully we can get a few more on that list of patrons. We're 4 away from 10, which is the current goal, and then the next goal will be like 20 or something. I don't know, but that's all I got to say about that. You guys have anything else to add to the island before we take off for a few weeks?
Just to hit up that link tree on the YouTube for all of the links to all the things that we mentioned, and join our Discord, because you can get news and stuff and participate in our little community.
Yeah, we have a little community. We're almost at 50 in the community. So,
and go listen to Cloud Cult.
Yes, everyone on this list. Mostly everyone on this list. It's good stuff if you're into this kind of stuff. But thanks for listening to us jabber on about this stuff. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you talking to us in the chat. It's always nice to have someone to talk to in the chat. We will see you guys next time, next week, when we are doing, what is it, Connecticut Fun, I think?
Yeah, we're going to do Connecticut Fun.
I think we might finally be doing Connecticut Fun. Yeah. So, look forward to another punk episode next Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central. See you then.
See ya.
This is Flyover State Park. You are clear to land.